Hello and welcome to this edition of Mornings. I'm Keenan Washington. There's a lot more students in the building now and lots to catch you up on. Let's take a look at what's been happening this past week at North Penn. It's always amazing to see our high school students achieve greatness, and there's nothing better than when North Penn students make history. Earlier this month, Catherine Cavanaugh was named Honorable Delegate at the North Penn Invitational Model UN Conference. This event is the biggest and one of the most prestigious conferences in the whole Western Hemisphere. This marked the first time our club received a Model UN award of this caliber. Congrats, Catherine. We have Mr. Brumball back this week to test your knowledge on this week's Brumball Challenge.
Hey, welcome to this week's Brumball Challenge. As we wrap up Black History Month, I've got one final question. Who was Onesimus, and why is he so important, especially today? The answer when we get back.
Highlight 3 other prominent African Americans in honor of Black History Month. Let's take a moment to recognize these important historical figures.
And public speaker. He was a leader in the abolitionist movement, which sought to end the practice of slavery before and during the Civil War. He continued to push for equality and human rights, including women's rights and their right to vote. He was the first African American on a presidential ballot when nominated for Vice President of the United States as Victoria Woodhull's running mate on the Equal Rights Party ticket in 1872. A former slave, Sojourner Truth became an outspoken advocate for abolition, temperance, and civil and women's rights in the 19th century. When the Civil War started, Truth urged young men to join the Union cause and organize supplies for Black troops. After the war, she became involved with the Freedom's Bureau, helping freed slaves find jobs and build new lives. Andrew Rube Foster was an American baseball player who gained fame as the father of Black baseball after founding the Negro National League, the first successful professional league for African American ball players. In 1920, Foster met with 7 other owners of African American baseball clubs for the purpose of establishing the NNL. He served as president of the NNL until 1926. Foster was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1981.
Everyone has their people or groups that they can identify themselves with. A way North Penn offers that community is through clubs. Today we're here showcasing one of the many cultural clubs here at the high school for this week's Club Spotlight.
My name is Melanie Shahjahan and I'm the president for Bengali Cultural Club. Bengali Club is a club that we help all students get together and celebrate and have a better understanding of Bengali culture. Our club has a lot of diversity and is welcome to anyone. Bengali Club has been a club at the high school for more than 8 years, and some of the events that we usually hold is a Bengali night show, the Bengali dinner, and a movie night. But due to the pandemic, we haven't been able to do any of those things, but we are in the process of holding a virtual Bengali night show. We will be posting sign-ups on our social media such as Instagram, Facebook, and we will be posting it on our Google Classroom. It is open to the community. Anyone is allowed to join and participate. You can do anything from a dance to a skit. You can do whatever you want, just have fun with it. And we are pretty glad that we have something to hold, so anyone is welcome to join and just express themselves.
Jojo Dalwadi is here for this week's Lowdown. How are you doing this morning, Jojo?
And I'm doing well, and as Mr. Monero would say, as I sit in his chair, I never had a bad day in my life. Just a reminder that this upcoming Monday will be an early dismissal. Be sure to attend only periods 1, 3, and 8. Seniors, keep in mind that we are in the final semester. This is your chance to apply for senior award scholarships, so get to it. Those interested in boys volleyball, mark your calendars. Tryouts will be on March 8th starting at 5 p.m. Looking for something fun to do once a week? Join the Unified Track Team. Students get to choose their exercises to focus on while making friends. Practice begins the week of March 9th. For more information, email brinsk@npenn.org. That's all we have for this week's Lowdown, and I'll send it back to the desk.
heading right into this week's sports update. In girls basketball, after a long 2 weeks without play, the girls returned to win, and they did with a 51-31 win against Wissahickon. Boys basketball, however, took a tough loss Tuesday night against CB East, with the final score being 57-46. Last weekend, North Penn Swim had yet another virtual meet, with the boys winning the 400 free relay, 100 breast, and 50 free. The girls won the 400 free relay and the 100 breast. There were 9 season's best this meet. Congrats, Knights! And that's all we have for this week's sports update. The Haiku U contest winner has been chosen. Here to give you the highly anticipated results, JoJo is with Mrs. McKee to announce the results.
Thanks again, Keenan. And after months and months of advertising and the build-up to the winners of the Haiku U contest, we finally are ready to announce the winners. But before I do that, let me ask Mrs. McKee a couple questions. Mrs. McKee, what does haiku even mean?
Funny you should ask that, JoJo. Haiku, a Japanese term, means a starting verse. So it's just a little something to start something a little bit deeper. And although haiku are traditionally about nature, we've opened that up to be about just about anything.
That's very interesting. And can you tell me a little bit about the process of kind of coming through with this plan?
Yeah, I can actually. This was inspired by the art department with their 50 Days of Art that they began in December on the morning show. And I loved that. And I loved seeing a different student highlighted each day. And I just thought that was neat. And I thought, well, if the art department can do it, we can do it too. So I came up with Haiku U. It's a simple little thing to write, and sometimes you stumble into a really great little poem. And once I got the idea, I emailed our principal, Mr. Nicholson, and just to show you what a great guy Mr. Nicholson is, my email with, hey, here's a crazy idea, was he responded to it in haiku, giving me permission and the green light. At that point, I realized we were going to need some prizes, which means money. So I went to the incredible North Penn Educational Foundation for yet another educational grant to pay for some prizes and to support our endeavor. And they were more than generous. And that's how Chick-fil-A got on board. So I knew the kids will pretty much do anything for the chance at some free Chick-fil-A. So after that, it was off to the races.
So just to be clear, that's what the winners are getting?
Yes, and here's a little reveal before we reveal the winners. To the 30 of you who made it to the top 30, I actually have Chick-fil-A for all of you, and it'll be in the mail. So over the weekend, check your mailbox because you're going to get a letter from Haiku U with a gift from the North Penn Educational Foundation. So all 30 winners get Chick-fil-A.
That's awesome, Mrs. McKee. See, everybody's a winner.
That's right.
And it's to my understanding that over 400 submissions were submitted to the Haiku contest. Talk about how you narrowed that down to 30.
So it was there were about 400 entries from students, and what we did was I took all 400 of them, divided them up, and gave them sent them out to the entire faculty and staff, and they voted. And I took the top 30 vote getters, and then that went to the students. So the students chose the final winners yesterday.
Well, Mrs. McKee, I think we're finally ready
I think we are.
Announce the winners.
I think we are. So here you go. Our top winner was Chick-fil Fanatic, a sucker for nugs and fries. The gift card calls me. Well, Caitlin, you're getting the gift card. Congratulations, by far the top vote getter. Although I would like to give a quick shout out to Emmy Blanchard in second place because her poem was actually a favorite of faculty and students. It was the faculty favorite by far. I think we all feel this one. Muted mics join the class, the teacher calls out, but it's just circles watching. And although Mr. Monero was really pulling for Braden Ritchie's My Sandwich Plunges Down, the Ode to Mayonnaise by Brady Lawrence was honorable mention. And finally, if you go to the second slide, we had a whole faculty contest that you folks didn't know about, and that was a pretty good contest as well. And I think we all agree Mrs. Molly Hackman's beautiful Silence and Circles are louder than the voices that I used to hush. That one cut to the heart of every teacher. So that was our winner. But there are a few other great ones there. I mean, we had ones about the process of writing. We had a great entry from Mr. Gillespie, Raindrops on Windows. It was a great contest altogether. So thanks for asking.
Thanks again, Mrs. McKee, and thank you to the North Penn Education Foundation for sponsoring this contest. And I'll send it back to the desk to Keenan Washington.
You may have your friends in your family, but they're all human beings. But some may count a being without opposable thumbs as their friends and family too. With that in mind, let's see what you had to say on this week's Question of the Week.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
This is my dog. His name is Spots. Say hi. There you go.
Semester's over, parents in Minnesota.
Want to learn more about the students behind the sports? Well, the Night Crier has you covered along with a multitude of other articles. Here to give you a brief look at some articles to read up on is Executive Editor Jojo Dalwadi live in the studio with this week's Night Crier Update.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another Night Crier Update. In this week's update, read about a recent 9-0 decision to cut aquatics from the PE graduation requirement made by our school board during their last action meeting in an article written by Executive Editor Connor Nizak. Also on the site, you'll see staff writer Milan Varia's article about a North Penn graduate who serves as both a literal and figurative superhero as he distributes COVID vaccines throughout the area. Lastly, you'll find William Kettner's article highlighting our nation's most influential and impactful African-American athletes in honor of Black History Month. That's all we have for this week's update. Make sure to check out these articles and many more at nightcrier.org or the Student News Source app. And don't forget to read the night, day or night.
Did you tweet your answer to @NPTV with the answer to the Brumball Challenge? Let's check in with Mr. Brumball himself for the answer.
Hey, the answer you've all been waiting for. Onesimus was a slave in the Massachusetts Bay Colony and told his master, Cotton Mather, about the African tradition of inoculation. It was tried during a smallpox outbreak in 1721, and it was extremely effective. And so the idea took hold. And today we can thank Onesimus for the idea of inoculation as we stand in line to get our COVID-19 vaccines. Bet you didn't know that? Now you do. Thanks for playing this week's Brumball Challenge.
Brumball Challenge is the Night Crier. That's all we have for this edition of Mornings. I'm Keenan Washington. Have a great day, North Penn.